Have you ever struggled to stick to a budget? Maybe you downloaded an app, set the categories, but then didn't know what categories to put things in. Or maybe you set it all up, but you still went over budget each month. Or maybe your budget just made you feel guilty when you spent money. You've probably heard that budgeting is a foundational piece of financial wellness, but I'm going to teach you a different approach to spending and saving your money. One that makes managing your money feel intuitive and will help you develop a more positive relationship to your finances. But first, if we haven't met yet, I'm Britt, co-founder of Dow Janes and your favorite YouTube money coach. I've helped thousands of women transform their relationships with money, turn personal finance into a form of self-care, and start using money as a tool to live the life that they want. So if those are topics that you are interested in, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be the first to hear when we release new videos. And definitely check out our free masterclass where we teach you how to manage your money pain-free with our aligned money method. I'll leave a link in the description. So let's get into this budget alternative. It's called values-based spending. And values-based spending is a money management approach that aligns your spending habits with your personal values and priorities. Instead of simply trying to stick to a budget, values-based spending encourages you to consider what truly matters to you, and then allocate your resources accordingly. Values-based spending isn't just about saving money. It's about changing your relationship with money and bringing more thoughtfulness to how you spend it. So I'm going to give you some steps to start values-based spending in a minute. But first, let's talk about why values-based spending feels so much better than traditional budgeting. But before I go on, I want to hear about some of your struggles with budgeting in the comments. Will you pause this video and tell me what your experience with budgeting has been? You may have said it was difficult to keep up, felt overcomplicated, hard to track, or impossible to account for those unexpected expenses. Or maybe it just felt plain restrictive. Whatever your reason for not budgeting, I get it. It's hard. So let's talk about the pros of values-based spending instead. So values-based spending, one, it feels less restrictive. Instead, it's a personalized approach to spending that you can tailor to your unique situation, rather than forcing things to fit in categories. Two, it aligns with your personal values. This approach encourages you to spend money on things that truly matter to you, so you can feel like your spending is in alignment with what you care about. Three, it leads to less guilt and shame. When you spend money in line with your values, you actually feel good about your purchase instead of guilty every time you pull your credit card out. Four, it allows you to focus on your long-term goals. By aligning your spending with your core values and your long-term goals, values-based spending can help you make more intentional choices about how you use your money. It encourages you to consider the bigger picture and how your spending habits impact your overall well-being and happiness. So how can you start values-based spending? I'm going to give you 5 easy steps to bring a values-based spending approach to your financial life. But first, if you're digging this video, would you give it a thumbs up so you can help other people find it? I'd really appreciate that. Okay, step 1, identify your core values. This one was probably obvious. The first step of values-based spending is identifying your core values. These could include things like family, health, personal growth, creativity, adventure, freedom, environmental sustainability. You tell me, pause the video, write your top 3 values in the comments below. I'm so curious what yours are. As you do this, think about what your perfect life would look like. How do you spend your time? How do you feel? What's your financial situation? What makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning? As you reflect on those questions, ask yourself if your current spending and your current savings habits align with your dream life. If they do, that's great. And if they don't, you're going to want to move on to step 2. So step 2 is aligning your spending and your savings with your values. So now that you've clarified this dream life vision, before you make a purchase, take a moment and ask yourself how this fits into the bigger picture of your life. How is it propelling you or not propelling you toward your goals? 3, make intentional financial decisions. So once you have this clear understanding of your values and your spending habits, you can begin to make more intentional choices about how you use your money. This might mean changing your spending habits. Maybe you decide to spend less on takeout because you value health, and instead you buy meal kit boxes so you can learn how to cook. Or maybe you have a high value of quality family time and you decide to cancel your TV subscription and opt for evening game nights instead. 4, finally, you're going to track your spending. A great way to see if you're spending in alignment with your values is to review your finances during a weekly money ritual. A weekly money ritual is an hour that you set aside each week to manage your finances. You can use this time to look over your expenses from the last week and just make sure that everything is aligned with your values. During your review, if you notice that you bought something that doesn't align with your values, you can decide, do you want to return it? Do you want to not buy that again in the future? Or do you want to find an alternative that's more aligned with your personal values? So that's it. Those are the 4 steps to start using a values-based spending approach. And I would love to hear how it goes for you. Remember, it's easier to start with your priorities and your values and let those shape your spending decisions instead of trying to fit your spending decisions into categories that don't work for you. I love a values-based spending approach because it gives me more freedom and makes managing my money less stressful. If you want to learn more easy, pain-free ways of managing your money, check out our free masterclass. I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching.